What's going down, y'all? It's almost Thanksgiving. You know what that means. Not a goddamn thing. Alright, so Thanksgiving right around the corner, so I figure I'd give y'all my recipe for roasted sweet potatoes. It's real simple to make, just a few ingredients. Right here I got about 3 small sweet potatoes, just cut into like 2-inch pieces. You want them to be on the bigger side because they're going to shrink a little bit when they cook, and you don't want them to be all shriveled up. You want them to have some good texture to them. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit them with a little bit of vegetable oil. Usually I use olive oil, but a good neutral oil is good to use, like vegetable oil, canola oil. This is going to coat the potatoes and keep them from sticking together, sticking to the pan, and it's also going to help them to get a nice caramelized color on the outside. So we're going to toss it to coat. And we're going to hit them with some sea salt and some black pepper. If you can, get you one of those pepper mills so you can crack your own pepper. Don't get that pepper that's been in that shaker, like that McCormick shit or whatever other brand. Try to grind your own pepper. Get you a coffee grinder or something and get you some peppercorns from the store and make sure it's fresh, because that's gonna give you the best flavor. We're gonna toss that. Everything nice and coated. And we're gonna put these on the sheet pan and preheat the oven. You want your oven to be about 325 to 350, no higher than that, because the sugar content in the potatoes is pretty high. So we're gonna keep it kind of low at first, and then we're gonna bump it up after the sweet potatoes get a little soft so they can caramelize. Get them on the pan, spread them out kind of even. And throw them joints in the oven. I say do it about 10-15 minute increments and just check them, rotate the pan, and just see how they're doing. Okay, so they've been cooking for about 30 minutes now. I rotated the pan after about 15, and you can see that the color starting to change a little bit. They shrunk up a little and they started to soften. So we're gonna let them keep going maybe another 15 minutes just to see. We want to basically cook them until they get kind of pillowy soft on the inside, and then we're gonna sprinkle them with a little bit of brown sugar and some cold butter, and then we're gonna crank up the heat to about 375 so they can like really caramelize and kind of get that candy action on the outside. Alright, so it's been about another 20-25 minutes, and the sweet potatoes have really softened up. They're pretty much ready for the final phase, which is the caramelization. We're gonna crank up the heat to 375 and sprinkle a little brown sugar on there for sweetness and some butter to add a little bit more flavor. Got a little brown sugar. You can do this to taste. If you want it sweeter, add more. I just like to add a little bit because the sweet potatoes are already sweet. And cubed up some cold butter, and it's gonna melt into the sweet potatoes and help us add some more color to them as well. So crank up the heat to 375, pop them in till they start to brown a little bit more, because they already cooked. You just want them to get a little crispy on the edges. So the finished product, as you can see, it got a little bit more color on there. It's a little darker on the edges from the brown sugar and the butter. I actually cranked the heat up to 400 because 375 wasn't giving me enough heat. So feel free to do that. Just make sure you keep an eye on it since you increasing the temperature. But if you want to, you can let them go a little bit longer, just so You know, maybe you might want it to get a little bit more crispy on the edges, but I like to get that light golden brown on there. And also you could add some cinnamon for flavor, or since it's the holidays, you can add some herbs like sage, rosemary, or thyme. That'll kind of jazz them up a little bit too. But there you go, roasted sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving. I keep that recipe in your back pocket. I'm probably gonna do cornbread dressing next because that's my favorite Thanksgiving side dish of all times.